Participle clauses. They are a group of words that begin with a verb in the ing form. These clauses can come before or after the main part of the sentence. They are divided into present only in the active voice, past only in the passive voice, and perfect in both of them. In the present participle clause, we use verb plus ing. It can be used instead of the following, only in the active voice. It can replace while and as. While I was walking in the street, I lost my keys. Instead of saying while I was walking, it is replaced by walking. Walking in the street, I lost my keys. It can replace when. When I opened the door of the room, I realized that Ahmed was asleep. Instead of saying when I opened, I can say opening. Opening the door of the room, I realized that Ahmed was asleep. It can replace after as soon as and once. As soon as she had entered her room, she burst into tears. I can say entering her room, she burst into tears. It can replace because, as, and since if it gives the same meaning as because. Because I was very ill, I didn't go to school. Instead of because I was, I can say being. Being very ill, I didn't go to school. It can replace by plus noun or gerund. I could reach the shelf by using or by the use of the ladder. I could reach the shelf using the ladder. It can replace who, which, and that. The student who is sitting next to me is polite. Who is sitting can be replaced by sitting. The student sitting next to me is polite. The factory which releases harmful gases must be closed. The factory releasing instead of which releases, releasing. The thief that robbed the bank was imprisoned. Instead of that robbed, I can replace it using robbing. The thief robbing the bank was imprisoned. Note that the subject of the participle clause must be the same subject of the main clause. To form the negative, we use not before the participles. They stayed at home because they didn't have any money. Instead of saying because they didn't have, I can say not having any money, they stayed at home. After the verbs of sensation, see, hear, feel, smell, listen, watch, and notice, we can use the infinitive or the gerund, but they give different meanings. For example, I saw them play a match. It means I saw the whole match. I saw them playing a match. It means I saw a part of the match. So the infinitive means a part, the whole action. The gerund means a part of the action. Participle clauses can be used instead of clauses starting with and. The car hit the tree and made a loud of noise. The car hit the tree, making a loud noise. I heard the phone ringing and I picked it up. Hearing the phone ringing, I picked it up. Now with the past participle clause, which is formed by using the second form of the verb. It can be used instead of the following only in the passive voice. We use the second form of the verb. While the child was being checked by the doctor, he was screaming. Checked by the doctor, the child was screaming. When my car was mended by the mechanic, it became faster. Mended by the mechanic, my car became faster. Instead of saying when my car was mended, mended. Who, which, and that. The criminal who was arrested yesterday is very dangerous. Instead of who was arrested, we used arrested. The villa which was built by Michael cost him a fortune. The villa built by Michael cost him a fortune. Instead of which was built, I use only the word built. Because and as and since. He got the full mark because he was supported by his mom. Instead of because he was supported by his mom, only the word supported by his mom. After as soon as and once. Once the baby was fed by his mother, it fell asleep. Instead of once the baby was fed, only the word fed. Fed by his mother, the baby fell asleep. The perfect participle clause can be used instead of the active voice using having plus pp, and the passive voice we use having been plus pp. In the active voice, it can replace after, as soon as, once, when, and the moment, but we use having plus pp. The moment I had finished my homework, I slept. Having finished my homework, I slept. In the passive voice, it can replace the following after, as soon as, once, when, and the moment, but we use having been plus pp. After my flat had been decorated, it looked fantastic. Having been decorated, my flat looked fantastic. Meeting you soon with a new lesson. Thank you.